Hi there, welcome to the Schwoven's Nest. My name is Sandra and I do tons of DIY home decor, trash to treasure, and I want to inspire you to dream and create for your home. Today I'm going to take you along with me as I style up my winter coffee bar. I've had this wood frame for quite a long time now. I think it was something that I picked up in the spring or the summer, but I really liked that it had sort of a shadow box effect. With it being raw wood, I'm going to use Varathane gel stain in the color of dark walnut, and with a sponge brush, I'm just going to apply it in the direction of the wood grain. Once I get it all covered with stain, I'm going to take a soft rag and wipe it off. I love this gel stain because you can control how much or little stain you put on. So if you want it to be a nice rich color, you apply more stain, or you can do a couple of coats. Or if you want just something lighter, then you're just very light with your brush and then wipe it off as soon as you put it on. I'm only doing one coat. I left it on for a good 5 minutes and then I'm just wiping it off, and this is the color that I wanted to achieve. You can see that I made quite a mess on the inside of the frame, so I'm going to use the Rust-Oleum Chiffon Cream chalk paint and give this one coat. I did have to go a couple of coats just where the stain was on, but I used my smaller brush for that and it turned out fine. This brush is about a ½ inch in width, and I'm just going to use that to go really gently along the sides. I just didn't feel like taking the time to tape it off, but you could do that. It would make it probably painting a bit faster. But what you do to cut into these corners is put some paint on your brush and then dab it a little bit and then get it pushed down so you're working with the edges of the brush, sort of the tip of the brush, rather than the whole length of it. And this will really help you to get straight lines. This is going to be my hot cocoa and hot coffee bar station sign. So now that the chalk paint is dry, I'm just going to put on some painter's tape to give me a straight line when I start with the lettering. I've decided to use stencils for this lettering, and I wanted to give you guys something that you could do yourself. I do a lot of freehand lettering, but I also like the look of stencils sometimes because the letters are then exactly the same. I tend to not be able to do that when I'm doing hand lettering. So this style of stencil I picked up at Michael's a while ago, and I believe I used my 45% off coupon, and I'm just starting with really large letters at the top to spell out the word hot. I'll repeat the same process for the rest of the words. I'm using a different stencil for the words coffee, tea, and cocoa. It's a little hard to see, but I think you might be able to see where I put the coffee, tea, and cocoa words. I wanted them to kind of be to one side and then to the other side and then in the center. And you'll see why I put them this way in a minute. I'm going to add some pictures next to the words. So for coffee, I looked online and found this cute little graphic of some coffee beans. So I'm just going to do some freehand coffee beans next to the word coffee. Then I'll repeat that with some tea leaves and then with some cocoa beans. Using a Craft Smart oil-based paint pen in black, This time I'm using a fine tip. If you've seen me do some other signs, I use the large tip most of the time. But because I'm doing stenciled letters, I want to make sure I get a nice clean outline edge. Wherever possible, I'll be using the thick marker to fill in. One more thing I thought I would add is just a little picture of a steaming little cup. So again, I looked for a picture online and I'm just going to freehand it. If you're not comfortable doing freehand, you can print pictures out on a piece of paper, flip it over, and then use a pencil to really color in the picture on the reverse side of the paper, then flip it over and trace it onto the front side, and you'll get a pencil line of the picture that you can trace. This is a little corner in my living room. My living room and dining room and kitchen are all one big space. So I decided just to take this little kitchen cart and make it into a coffee bar. So the first thing I did was add the buffalo plaid table runner, of course my Keurig machine, and then I have this wood tray that was part of my coffee station on my kitchen counter, so I've just moved it over here. The two little crates at the back were from Michael's and I'm just using them as risers. I'm going to be putting 3 flavors of these skinny syrups on the risers at the back. One is vanilla, one is mocha, and one is salted caramel, which is my absolute favorite. I want to give a nice thank you to my friend Sonia at Domestic Diva. She's the one who got me hooked on these. Thank you, Sonia. They are absolutely delicious. I've used them in my coffees. I have not tried them in hot chocolate yet, but I think they would be delicious there as well. When I was out thrifting this week, I found 3 glass containers. 2 of them have the sealing lid to them and the other one is an apothecary jar. So I'm going to fill one with coffee, one with tea, and the one that doesn't seal, I'm going to use that for hot chocolate packets. I'm adding some honey and some cinnamon sticks that I'm putting in a stemmed shot glass. Another thrift store find was this cute little 2-tiered tray. It has some silver and wood accents on it and it just fits perfectly into the big wooden tray. I'm also going to be adding some sugar, some brown sugar, and some white chocolate chips into these little bowls from the Pampered Chef. They have these nice little lids on them so they'll keep everything fresh. These little spoons are from my mom's spoon collection that I have, so I'm going to just lay them out on the top of the tiered tray. As I'm sure you all know, the way you decorate things first is usually never the way you leave it. So you're going to see me move some things around and add some little other decorations just to make it a little bit more wintry. I'd like to thank all my fellow YouTubers out there for giving me the inspiration to create my own winter coffee bar. Adding the sign and the wooden sled cup holder make this little nook complete. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to click the bell to get notified when I upload new videos. Thanks for watching!